Good afternoon, everybody. My name is David Boyer. I'm Director of Apprenticeships and Business Development at Capel Manor College, and I'd like to welcome you to this presentation this afternoon. I'm going to be talking to you about apprenticeships, how they work, what they are, and the kind of apprenticeships you can do here at Capel Manor College. I'm going to be joined for this afternoon's presentation by my colleague Rose, who's our apprenticeship manager. And Rose is going to have keep an eye out on any questions that you've got. So if you need to pose us a question, by all means, or any kind of comment on the chat page, and Rose will keep an eye on that and do her best to respond either straight away or we may pick it up later as well in the Q&A that Angela was alluding to that follows at 3:10. Okay. So for now, let's crack on with the slideshow. And I'd like to start by just talking a little bit about what an apprenticeship is for those of you for whom it's quite a new idea. It's really a fantastic way for school leavers and adults. It's open to people of all ages to gain invaluable work experience studying for a new qualification. The thing about an apprenticeship, of course, is that the work experience is in the form of a full-time job. So you are earning a living, typically quite a good living, in fact. Our apprentices standardly earn a lot more than the minimum apprenticeship salary. All the while, you're gaining hands-on experience with your employer, as well as hands-on training and tuition from our team of tutors and assessors. And all of that gives you the confidence to launch your career in the working environment of your choice. So if you're looking to start work, earn money, and gain a nationally recognized qualification in the land-based industry, a Capel Manor College apprenticeship is really going to provide you with the essential training that you need. So what I want to do now is just take you through the apprenticeships that we offer here at Capel as a land-based college. In animal management, we have launched a very successful keeper and aquarist apprenticeship. It's really basically an apprenticeship for zookeepers. And it provides a really exciting route into a career as a zoo or animal keeper. It was developed, like all these new apprenticeships have been, by industry experts. In this case, it was led by London Zoo, ZSL London Zoo, and Whipsnade Park. But we have other employers too. And if you take one of these apprenticeships, you'll be employed in a zoo or in a wildlife park or aquarium or private animal collection, an animal reserve, and farms with a zoo license. What will you learn? Well, you'll learn the importance of adhering to industry best practice, law, protocols, and procedures in relation to animal husbandry, welfare, transportation, and work, health, and safety. And you'll also be responsible, of course, as a zookeeper for the everyday care and husbandry of the animals within the collection where you work. It's a really exciting new apprenticeship. We have our first recruits onto it in 2019-20, and we're welcoming more in the coming years. So that's one option for you to consider. In horticulture, we have two apprenticeships. The horticulture operative apprenticeship is really for those coming into the industry fresh. We have a whole variety of employers. Christine just mentioned there that our apprentices work across all of the royal parks in central London, as well as in Kew Gardens and in the City of London, and in a whole variety of other employers, large and small, besides, all across the region from Kent to Buckinghamshire. In a horticulture operative apprenticeship, you will learn the fundamentals of looking after plants and gardens, as well as how to use handheld and motorized tools. And there's an opportunity, if you're successful in that, or if you're already within the horticulture industry and have been for a while, to enroll onto the horticulture supervisor apprenticeship. Now, this is much as it says on the tin. It's for those of you whose employers may plan to promote you into a supervisory or management position, or possibly you've already gained such a role and would benefit from formal training to level 3. So it will build on the technical skills that you gained whilst learning your trade or through the horticulture operative apprenticeship, but it also give you management skills as well, because now you're going to start to line manage gardeners as under your team. So that's the horticulture supervisor apprenticeship. Again, like the zookeeper, started last year, but very well received by those who just started it. But there's a couple of other options in the landscaping area. We have a sports turf apprenticeship, been running that for a couple of years now. This is for those employed by very large sport organizations mainly, either at local authority level, or they may be professional football clubs, or rugby clubs, tennis clubs, you name it. Our employers work for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and they get to go on a whole variety of different masterclasses where the top grounds people in all of those clubs and organizations will share their experience of how you construct and maintain all types of sports surfaces, as well as a range of tools and equipment that you use to maintain them. You emerge out of that course a fully fledged grounds person. Or more specifically, you may wish to embark upon a career as a golf greenkeeper. And that's an apprenticeship that we're going to be launching just this autumn. It offers a high quality route to a career in the golf greenkeeping industry. And you'll develop a strong foundation of knowledge in the science and maintaining of a pitch. And we'll put this into practice with hands-on skilled work, as with all our apprenticeships. Floristry is another option. Yeah, this is an opportunity for you to gain confidence and practice the skills required for employment and/or career progression in the floristry industry. You'll probably be new to floristry if you take this apprenticeship, but you might be in employment already, but needing to formalize and further your skills. Now, this, I should add, is an apprenticeship that's been approved by the Institute for Apprenticeships, and we plan to offer it. But right now, they need to do a little bit more work around the endpoint assessment of it. So if you're interested in this, please register your interest on our website, and we'll let you know just as soon as this is available. But I hope it will be available before Christmas. That's the floristry. So that's an overview of the apprenticeships that are available at Capel Manor College. There's always others coming on board. We hope in time to be welcoming arborists back onto apprenticeship programs at Capel, not right now, as well as a new landscape technician apprenticeship. But all details of those and other apprenticeships that we offer, as soon as we are able to offer them, we'll post them on our website. So do keep an eye on that. But here's a few more little things to keep in mind if you're thinking about going down the apprenticeship route. Remember that you need a job. This is the key difference between being an apprentice and other types of learning that you can do at Capel Manor. You must be in the job first. And that job's got to be full-time. It's got to be at least 30 hours per week. And of course, it must be relevant to the course that you're going to do. So the question is, how do you find those? Well, there's actually a couple of ways to do it. Employers get in touch with us all the time in my department, and they have vacancies. Chris was alluding in her talk to the fact that there are skill shortages right across the industry, and that's true. There are skill shortages in our industry, and so there are vacancies to go with those. And when an employer calls us and says that they'd like to take on one or more apprentices, we help them to recruit. Most of the jobs that are notified to us, we direct them on to a website called Find an Apprenticeship. That's a government-run website which you can log on to anytime. So if you go onto that website and type in a keyword that relates to the kind of job you want, the kind of apprenticeship you want, vacancies will pop up. And you'll see if Capel Manor is the training provider attached to any one of those vacancies, because it tells you about that. Then you might find a job that you want, but if you don't be discouraged. Please get in touch with us, because we have vacancies that have been on that website and maybe lapsed off it or haven't yet got onto it, and we can tell you about those. They're hot off the press information for you. And through that, we can help you find and apply for a job. So we do invite would-be apprentices to apply to the college, even if you don't have an employer. So we will then collect your application, interview you, and direct you to a vacancy as soon as a suitable one becomes available. In order to be successful in your enrollment onto an apprenticeship, you're going to be interviewed by us, where we're going to talk to you through the course itself and just check that it's the right course for you. And you're going to be interviewed as well by the employer whose job it is you're applying to get. And of course, you have to be successful in both of those stages in order for the enrollment to follow. The good news is that these courses, although they range in value from £5,000 to £15,000 for an apprenticeship, none of that is a cost borne by the apprentice themselves. You have no fees to pay, no loans to raise, nothing at all. You will earn, as I say, at least the national minimum wage, but in all cases, it's considerably more than that. So the difference for an apprentice over others of their friends who have, for instance, gone to university or into some other kind of course in the college is that there's no aspect of this which is bearing upon you financially. You're going to be earning money, you won't be taking out a loan, and you won't be accumulating a debt like those, for instance, who enroll into university. So it's a really good basis upon which to start. And as I say, we've had apprentices based at Royal Parks and Kew Gardens and all across London and the southeast. We've been working over the summer. The team has been working at ensuring that the tuition attached to the apprenticeships is available to be shared in a virtual learning environment. So we're future-proofing our apprenticeship delivery against ongoing restrictions born of the coronavirus. But as a really important part of the apprenticeship, we will always ensure that an assessor, alongside that tutor, there's an assessor, and the assessor will visit you where you work, wherever it is that you work. Once or twice a term, they'll visit you and check that you're doing okay. Basically, you're going to be given an e-portfolio, and the e-portfolio is where you upload evidence of the skills and knowledge that you've gained during the apprenticeship, and the assessor and tutor will help you to keep that e-portfolio on track so that you can complete in good time. And at the end of it, there is what's called an endpoint assessment, where another organization, not Capel, but Lantra this time, they send out an assessor who will observe you doing practical skills and talk to you, in most of cases this is the case, after that, have a sort of professional discussion, it's usually called, with you about the skills that you've learned. That all follows on from a knowledge test, so that both the knowledge and skills sides of what you've learned during the course can be validated by that organization. Okay, so that in a nutshell is a walkthrough our apprenticeship offer. We're welcome now to spend a little time, if you want to unmute your video, to ask questions, and I'll see what's been popping up in the chat room as well. Thank you very much.